Imagine a quiet study, the air thick with the scent of old paper and leather-bound books. A teenager, curiosity etched on his face, looks at his grandmother. "Grandma," he asks, "how is it that we still own the same lakefront acreage great-great-grandpa bought way back in 1887? She doesn't even lift her gaze from her needlepoint. Her reply, calm and unwavering, carries the weight of generations. Because we never spend the principal, we never talk about the principal, and we never forget the rules that built the principal." That short, seemingly simple answer isn't just a family anecdote, it's the entire blueprint behind every fortune that survives long enough to send great-grandchildren to college without ever touching the original capital. It's about more than just money. It's about a mindset, a discipline, and a deep understanding of how wealth truly works. Here's the uncomfortable truth, something researchers at the Williams Group keep uncovering. A staggering 90% of affluent households watch their money vanish by the third generation. It's a curse that looms large over newly wealthy families, often born from a lack of foresight and a misunderstanding of generational stewardship. But here's where old money clans shine. They quietly sidestep that curse, not by luck, but by meticulously following 12 unbreakable habits, half of which are practically invisible to outsiders, hidden in plain sight. Today, you're going to hear all 12 of these profound secrets, plus the single, powerful sentence that stitches them all together into a cohesive philosophy. And trust me, you'll want to keep listening until the very end, because secret number 9 is the one most new investors get completely, utterly backwards. It's a game changer, and missing it could cost you dearly. Secret 1. Live below the means always. Old money sees income not as a reservoir to be emptied, but as a river, a continuous flowing stream. Their genius lies in diverting only a mere trickle for their daily lives, allowing the vast majority to flow onward, unimpeded, directly into assets that grow and produce more. It's a profound shift in perspective. Think about it. A Rockefeller heir, a name synonymous with immense wealth, famously carried a folded piece of paper in his wallet. On it was the exact price of a McDonald's milkshake from 1978. He used it as an ingenious personal inflation ruler every single time he considered a significant purchase. If that milkshake now cost 6 times more, he'd ask himself, will this jacket, this watch, or this car truly hold its value 6 times better? If the answer was no, he'd simply walk away. Living below your means isn't about being cheap, it's about precise calibration, a deliberate choice to prioritize long-term growth over fleeting gratification. It's about respecting the capital. To start embedding this habit into your own life, try this. Rewrite your budget so that a full 30% of your take-home pay becomes automatically invisible. You never see it, therefore you literally cannot spend it. It's moved directly into savings and investments before it even hits your main checking account. This isn't deprivation, it's financial alchemy, turning potential spending into inevitable wealth. Secret 2. Practice stealth wealth. Flashy cars, designer clothes, and ostentatious displays of wealth, they don't just invite admiration, they invite conversations you absolutely do not want to have. Old money understands this deeply. You'll find them driving decade-old Volvos or sensible sedans, wearing well-made wool sweaters repaired by the same tailor for 40 years, and answering questions about their financial standing with polite, often evasive, silence. Stealth wealth isn't some quirky parlor trick, it's a sophisticated risk management tool. The less the world knows about your true financial standing, the fewer lawsuits magically appear, the fewer jealous relatives suddenly remember you, and the fewer unsolicited pitch decks land on your desk. It creates a protective barrier, preserving your peace of mind and your assets. Want to try it out? Remove every single visible logo from your daily wardrobe. Invest in one impeccably well-cut navy jacket, a timeless piece. Keep it for a decade, caring for it meticulously. You'll be genuinely amazed at how quickly people stop asking, "What do you do for a living?" and start seeing you for who you are, rather than what you own. It shifts the entire dynamic of your interactions.
Secret 3. Use dynasty trusts. Think of a dynasty trust as a steel-reinforced, impenetrable bucket, meticulously designed to catch your assets before estate taxes can even begin to vaporize them. Once money or property is placed inside this trust, it takes on a life of its own. It can be strategically invested, loaned out at favorable terms, or even used to purchase homes for descendants. Yet crucially, it technically belongs to the trust itself, not to any individual person. This distinction is vital. This legal shield provides unparalleled protection. It safeguards your wealth from the ravages of divorce settlements, deflects opportunistic lawsuits, and perhaps most importantly, insulates it from the spendthrift impulses of future generations. Some forward-thinking states like South Dakota and a handful of others even allow these powerful trusts to run for 300 years or more, ensuring a multi-generational legacy. The cost to set one up? Roughly the price of a new Honda. The cost of not setting it up? Potentially up to 40% of everything you own every single generation lost to taxes and legal battles. It's a small investment for monumental protection. Secret 4. Build family banking structures. Why send your hard-earned interest payments to a commercial bank when you can keep that wealth circulating within your own bloodline? Old money families have mastered this by establishing internal family banking structures. They capitalize a family limited partnership, carefully write the bylaws, and then allow younger generations to borrow for significant life events, like buying a home or starting a business at competitive bank rate terms. The crucial difference? Those payments, including the interest, recycled directly back to the elders or the partnership, who then relend them. Over decades, it's the family, not a financial institution like Wells Fargo, that collects the lucrative spread. This isn't just for billionaires either. You can start small, with a simple spreadsheet and a checking account thoughtfully labeled Family Bank. Fund it with birthday money, small loans, and reinvested dividends. The primary goal here isn't just financial, it's profound psychological training. It teaches every cousin, every niece and nephew that capital has both a cost and a profound purpose, instilling a sense of responsibility and stewardship from a young age. Secret 5. Buy assets that produce income while you sleep. Old money has a deep, abiding love for what most people would consider boring cash flow. They aren't chasing the next meme stock or speculative venture. Instead, their portfolios are often filled with timberland in Arkansas, parking garages in mid-sized cities, or dividend-paying industrial companies that have consistently raised their payouts for 50 consecutive years. They calmly walk past the glamorous, headline-grabbing story stocks and head straight for the reliable, proven dividend aristocrats list. Their rule of thumb is brilliantly simple. If a 10-year-old can explain how the asset makes money, it qualifies. If you need a PhD to understand its complex business model or its disruptive technology, then you should probably pass. The beauty of these assets is their simplicity and their consistent ability to generate passive income. To begin cultivating this secret, start with one low-cost index fund that intelligently owns thousands of such stable income-generating companies. Then, here's the kicker: reinvest every single dime of those dividends. Let compounding work its magic, quietly building your wealth while you live your life. Secret 6. Diversify across asset classes and countries. History offers stark lessons on the perils of putting all your eggs in one basket. When the German hyperinflation crisis decimated fortunes, the von Metzler family maintained their footing because branches of their family held dollar-denominated railroad bonds in Boston. Similarly, American dynasties weathered the brutal storm of the Great Depression because their trusts in Montreal were paying rent in stable Canadian dollars. The lesson is crystal clear. No single economy, no single currency, and certainly no single government can guarantee the safety of your entire nest egg. True wealth preservation demands broad diversification. A robust strategy aims for roughly one-third domestic equities, one-third foreign equities, and one-third real assets, such as productive farmland or physical gold. This isn't about chasing the highest returns in one sector. It's about robust protection against unforeseen global shocks. And here's the crucial, often overlooked part: rebalance these allocations every single year. Treat it like brushing your teeth. It's unexciting, perhaps even tedious, but absolutely essential for long-term financial hygiene and resilience.
Secret 7. Educate heirs relentlessly. Here's a sobering statistic. A staggering 70% of wealth evaporation isn't triggered by bad markets or economic downturns. It's caused by unprepared offspring. Old money actively combats this by scheduling regular, often quarterly, family councils. At these gatherings, 14-year-olds aren't just present, they're actively engaged, reading balance sheets, and even voting on small charity grants, learning the ropes from the ground up. By the time they hit 21, these young adults can calculate complex cap rates in their heads, understanding the true value and potential of an investment. You don't need a multi-million-dollar trust fund to copy this incredibly powerful habit. Start a monthly money night in your own home. Order some pizza, gather the family, and instead of just watching TV, open a bank's annual report. Trace where interest income actually comes from. Discuss investment strategies and make it completely normal to talk about percentages, returns, and financial literacy long before your kids are talking about college majors. This proactive education is the ultimate inheritance, far more valuable than any sum of money. Secret 8. Write the family constitution. Clans that manage to perpetuate their wealth across generations don't leave their values and operating principles to chance. They codify them on paper. They draft the family constitution, a living document that covers everything from the overarching purpose of the family's wealth to who can borrow from family funds, how conflicts are respectfully settled, and yes, even the conditions under which a reckless cousin might temporarily lose access to family resources. This isn't some dry, impenetrable legal thriller. Rather, it's often a concise two-page letter of intent, a clear declaration of principles that saves hundreds of attorney hours and countless family squabbles down the line. To begin yours, schedule a relaxed Sunday afternoon. Gather 3 generations if possible and focus on answering just 2 fundamental questions. What do we want this money to do for our family and the world? And what behaviors or ventures will we never finance or support with our family's capital? Once drafted, print it, have everyone sign it, and store it securely in a fireproof box. This document becomes the bedrock of your family's financial future. Secret 9. Pre-plan taxes like a chess grandmaster. Most people react to their tax bill in April, often with a sense of dread or resignation. Old money? They're plotting their tax moves 10 years ahead, thinking several steps, even entire games in advance. They strategically freeze the value of a company before it rockets in worth, shift appreciating assets into trusts during low-interest environments, and cleverly utilize charitable lead trusts that benefit alma maters today while providing for their children tomorrow. One particularly brilliant maneuver involves gifting shares of a privately held business at discounted minority valuations, a point where the value is lower due to lack of control or marketability. Then they patiently watch as the underlying company triples or quadruples in value. The beauty of this? The IRS receives no additional cut on that appreciation. This, my friends, is the secret many new investors completely reverse. They wait until major liquidity events like selling a company to think about taxes. By then, the window for strategic maneuvering has not just closed, it has slammed shut, costing them millions. Secret 10. Cultivate multiple streams. Relying on a single paycheck, no matter how substantial, is inherently risky. Old money understands this deeply, which is why they relentlessly cultivate multiple streams of income. Think about it. Vanderbilt descendants still collect mailbox money from railroad leasing fees, while others clip coupons from municipal bonds, diversifying their income far beyond a single source. None of them rely on just one river of income. To adopt this secret, take an inventory of every skill present in your household. Can someone code? Does another play guitar exceptionally well? Is there bilingual fluency lurking in the family? Now, make it a deliberate mission to monetize at least 2 of these skills. Park the proceeds from each new stream into separate accounts. This allows you to visually track and celebrate the growth of each individual stream. The profound advantage? When one river inevitably dries up or a source of income falters, your entire financial delta keeps flowing, providing resilience and peace of mind.
Secret 11. Invest in human capital first. For old money, the greatest appreciating asset isn't always real estate or stocks, it's the human beings within the family. They willingly pay for advanced degrees, specialized apprenticeships, immersive language programs, and even seemingly trivial etiquette classes. Why? Because a polished heir who can confidently navigate global markets and speak 3 currencies is an appreciating asset that generates immense value. They view student debt for a vague liberal arts indulgence very differently than tuition for an engineering program with clear, quantifiable salary outcomes. It's about strategic investment. Take a critical look at your own education budget, whether it's for yourself or your family members. Consider shifting funds towards certifications or targeted training programs that demonstrably raise your hourly rate or earning potential within 12 months. The quickest, most direct return on capital you will ever find is the one you strategically stuff inside your own brain. It's an investment that can never be lost, stolen, or devalued by market fluctuations, and it consistently pays dividends. Secret 12. Measure time in centuries, not quarters. This might be the most profound secret of all, the one that underpins every other habit. Every significant decision made by old money is filtered through a singular, powerful question: will this matter when my great-granddaughter is born? This expansive, multi-generational lens instantly kills any impulse to gamble on fleeting meme coins or chasing speculative fads. Yet, it smiles warmly at the idea of acquiring a prime piece of land adjacent to a rapidly growing university, knowing its value will compound over decades. Compounding, the true engine of wealth, needs only 2 loyal allies, decent assets, and decades, even centuries, of uninterrupted calendar pages. It's a slow, steady, relentless force. So, start the clock today. Automate a monthly purchase of a broad market index fund. Then, here's the critical part, forget the password until your hair turns silver. Resist the urge to constantly check, tinker, or react to short-term market noise. Embrace the long game, because true wealth isn't built in quarters, it's forged across generations. If just one rule today shifted your perspective, if it changed how you think about your financial timeline, drop its number in the comments below. Was it the power of stealth wealth, the ironclad protection of dynasty trusts, or that profound century question? Hit that like button so the algorithm can show this vital information to someone who mistakenly believes wealth is all about a louder exhaust pipe. And of course, subscribe for more quiet money habits that compound relentlessly while you sleep. Old money endures not because of magic, but because it treats capital not as a trophy to be displayed, but as a sacred relay baton to be passed on. Master these 4 fundamental moves. Spend consistently less than flows in. Protect that hard-earned surplus with robust trusts and legal structures. Diversify your assets intelligently across continents and classes, and most critically, teach your children and grandchildren to do precisely the same. Embrace these principles, and you'll gracefully exit that 90% club that tragically loses it all. Choose just one secret tonight.
Perhaps it's drafting the first paragraph of your family constitution and take the smallest, most achievable action. Wealth, you see, is less about the sheer size of your paycheck and infinitely more about the expansive width of your time horizon. Guard both diligently, and your descendants will undoubtedly tell stories about that pivotal afternoon you decided to keep the fortune rather than simply spending it away.